I knew that was going to happen. That's probably one of the reasons I didn't want to talk on the call. I have to go into my background, and when you get to my age, the background is so lengthy, you don't know where to start. But I'm a financial consultant. I'm also a minister. I'm a licensed Christian counselor. I'm a doctor of holistic health and metaphysics. I am also a network marketer. I'm a type A personality. As a matter of fact, I'm a type A overachieving personality, and that's what played a big part in me losing my life. And when I say losing my life, that's exactly what I mean. Like I said, I've been a workaholic all my life. I've gotten from when I was 6 years old. I've always been one of those people that wanted to do something to earn my keep, so to speak. And like I said, I spent 30 years of my life in financial services, and that's teaching and helping people learn how to make their money go further, how to stretch their money, how to manage their money, and get more value for it. And then when I got ill, I continued to do that, and doing it through network marketing. I started doing network marketing because I felt and still feel that network marketing is the best way. I mean, it's the best of all worlds, because in network marketing, relationship marketing, MLM, I don't care what you want to call it, but I call it a people business because it's in network marketing. That's the only place I know that you can make money helping other people make money, and you can do that by passing on a good service to them. I'm not saying that all companies have good services. There are some out there that are not so good, but that's just like people. There's some out there that are not so good and some out there that are great. I try to deal with companies that only have products that are going to benefit and enhance people's lives. Well, when I lost my life, I lost my life to an illness, meaning that, like I said, a type A personality, workaholic, when you get to a point where you can't do those things, then that's your life. Your life is gone. My life was gone. And so throughout the years, I became what my husband told me that I was when we first met. He said I was high maintenance, but I didn't know what he was talking about. I think he was speaking from the spirit, because I've never been the type of person that was in the materialistic. But what happened is when I got ill, I became very, very high maintenance. It took so many tens of thousands of dollars just to keep me functional. I didn't talk about this to everybody. A lot of people didn't know it because I was such a workaholic. When I got to a point where when the days that I could not work, I would hide out in my house, and because people knew me to be the go-getter person, they think that, oh, she's just gone, she's working so hard, she doesn't have time, blah, blah, blah. A lot of times I'd be in my bed and not being able to get up. And I was, like I said, it cost tens of thousands just to keep me functional. And I was taking meds, expensive meds. I have medications that cost $200, $300, $400 per month. These are things that I had to take in addition to all types of vitamins and health supplements and things like this. So when people would come to me with any kind of new supplement or something that's supposed to help you, and the word fibromyalgia, that's the name they put on my syndrome. And you ask anybody who knows, which not very many people do, who know anything about fibromyalgia, they'll tell you that it is not a disease, quote unquote. It is a syndrome, meaning that it is a lot of diseases all balled up into one, a lot of the symptoms from a lot of diseases that manifest in a person's body. And when I say body, I mean brain and everything. So it's not just in the body. When you get a diagnosis from the doctor, they tell you that fibromyalgia, or most people who've heard it, they'll say fibromyalgia is widespread pain. Yeah, there's a lot of widespread pain. As a matter of fact, you wake up in the morning feeling as though you've been run over by a Mack truck and they backed up and then took a baseball bat and beat you. That's the morning feeling. You get to a point where you don't want to go to sleep at night because you know you're going to have to wake up in the morning. And you know how you're going to feel when you wake up. It took me a long time to be able to give this testimony. Because since I've been with 10, it's not that I just started getting results. I started seeing changes in my body and in my health the first week. It's just that it's been difficult for me to talk about because I didn't want to get so excited till people thought I was not telling the truth, and I didn't want to get so emotional that I couldn't finish talking about it because I have to let people know. And Pastor Dale and Pastor Denise, they really, really, they don't know how they hit home when they asked me, when I told them this story, they asked me, so who else knows about this? I answered them in a way, but I didn't answer the question that they asked. I answered the question that who knew I was sick? My family and closest friends knew I was sick. Any other friends disappeared out of my life anyway because I wasn't able to do anything with them. I couldn't keep my word, so I stopped giving my word. Because I could say that I'll see you in the morning, and I may not be able to see you in the morning. It may be next week. So I started not giving my word because I don't like to break it. But as far as the question that they were asking, who knew about it, that hit home because I know that people need to know about it no matter how it affects me when I tell the story, but people need to know. I would not wish this syndrome or these symptoms on my worst enemy. There were days that I would wake up, I couldn't get out of bed. There were days that I woke up that if I believed in suicide and I didn't mind hurting my family, I would have killed myself. There were many days that I didn't want to be here because I thought I couldn't take it anymore. The suicide rate for fibromyalgia patients is 18%. Most people, they said, are people who are type A personalities, so therefore they like being active. Our lives are tied up into what we do. And when we get where we can't do anything, then that's gone. And then staying in pain so much, then they want to send you to psychiatrists and all this kind of stuff, like you're crazy. But no, you're not crazy. You get, like I said, in addition to the pain, the fibromyalgia affects your brain. They call it fibrofog. You end up with depression. You're not able to think clearly sometimes. Your concentration is off. Your focus is off. They call it a fog. Sometimes worse than others. Pain is sometimes there but not as bad. Sometimes there but unbearable. Knee pain, leg pain, swelling, cramps, stiffness, spasms. Any of these things can happen at any given time, and sometimes all at one time. Now, I gave you the symptoms, not so somebody could feel sorry for me. I gave you the symptoms. Oh, I forgot the weight gain also. There are a lot of other things that are involved in this syndrome that a lot of people don't have no idea what that person is going through. And you can't tell everybody how you feel because then you feel like you're complaining. And then nobody wants to be around a complainer. So a lot of that stuff, that's what causes the mental distress is because you can't talk about it. There's nobody to talk to. But see, I can talk about it now. I've had everything up to this point, like I said, any medication, any pain meds you can think of, any sleep meds you can think of, and now on top of that, any supplement, any vitamin. I have vitamin books and supplement books. I've taken every juice. I've taken every shake. You name it. I promise you, if I haven't heard of it or taken it, somebody told me about it. But I'm not going to lie, some of it gave me a little bit of relief, and some gave me a little more relief, but it never lasted. And that's another reason I didn't want to talk about 10. I wanted to give it time, so I didn't think, because what happens is you'll start thinking your brain will catch on, and they call it a placebo effect. Oh, yeah, it's working. I know it's working, because you want it to work so bad. So I wanted to give it 90 days, and listen, my 90 days was up on Sunday. So I can talk now. 90 days into it, I can now tell you that 10 has given me my life back. I'm not saying everything is gone, but I can tell you things that I didn't. Sometimes you don't even notice it. That's why I ask people when I sell them the product or they sign up, make note of everything you feel in your body right now. Make note of everything you feel. So when these things start disappearing or you start feeling better, you'll know that you'll notice it, because there are things that happen in my body that I didn't even know had happened. Maybe I don't even know how long it was. Like a pain in my hips that held me where I couldn't walk in the morning. I couldn't walk in and lay down at night because I couldn't lay on my side because the pain in my hip joints would hurt so badly. I don't know when it stopped. I don't know. I just know about a week after it stopped, I thought, you know what? My hips aren't hurting anymore. And they haven't hurt since. This was like two and a half weeks after I started on the 10 product. It went away. It has not come back. I get up in the morning. I wasn't able to even get up in the morning. When I would wake up, number one, I had to take pain meds, take supplemental juices, green juice, and everything else just to be able to get out of bed, because it was so bad that the bottom of my feet would hurt. So I had people thinking I'm on leisure. I just sleep late. But it was because I couldn't get up. I couldn't. Not only was the pain there, but also the depression. Why should I get up? I can't do anything. There's so much to do, and I can't do any of it. Why should I get up? And why should I put myself through all that pain to get up and not be able to do the things I want to do? That pain, I can get up in the morning. I wake up. I was always an early waker. I was an early riser, but I still always been waking up early because I woke all through the night because I couldn't sleep. But now I actually can get, and that was one of the things I need to say. My doctors would say that if we could get you to get 6 hours sleep a night, I think we've accomplished something, because I could never get 6 hours straight sleep per night. Now I'm able to get 6. I can sleep through the night. I wake up. I can get out of bed. I get up 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning now. I'm able to get up and walk without walking like I'm 90 years old. Can barely make. I can get up and walk like the young-hearted person that I am. I'm not talking. I'm through. I'm sorry, but I'm through.
Dr. Rosie, you mentioned the brain fog that you can have with this disease. But there was something else that you mentioned to me I think would be really understanding of why you mean you get with this disease, brain fog. You used to be afraid of hearing the word dementia. Why is that?
I was afraid of hearing the word dementia because I thought I had it. I thought I was, if I didn't have it, that's where I was headed, because my memory was going very badly. I could sit in one spot and lose whatever I had in my hand. I could walk around with with something in my hand and look for it. Mm-hmm. I could, and this is something, like I said, this is a simple thing. It sounds simple to most people, but I had bought a word sign puzzle about 4 years ago, and I would sit down and I would try to work the words, find the words on the word sign puzzle. I would maybe find 4 or 5 words, and it would take me maybe an hour or so, and I would get so frustrated and just overwhelmed just trying to find those words. They just all jumbled up to me. And it happened so many times. I'd wait a couple of months or so, and I'd go back and I'd try it again, and the same thing would happen. That word find puzzle had been in my cabinet for the last 2 years. I had not even touched it again. But a month or so after I started using the 10, I pulled that word find puzzle down out of that cabinet, and I started finding those words. And I could do them in less than an hour. And I wanted to tell you, since I've talked to you the last time, I'm able to work a whole page of word finding words, fill out the whole page in less than 20 minutes now. It's almost as though the words pop out at me. Mm-hmm. To me, I know nobody could understand it until they suffer through that. But when you feel like you're losing your mind and you feel like your mind is all you have going for you, And the reason why I say all I had going for me, I know now that I'm a good-looking woman, but back when I was younger, I thought I was ugly. So I developed my mind. So to me, my mind was the most important thing to me, and I was losing it. And I was afraid I was going to become an Alzheimer patient. I just knew I just felt I had dementia. I could not stand to even say the word or hear the word because I felt that was who I was becoming. And I'm sorry for this choking in my voice, but it's kind of what I'm talking about.
Well, I tell you, this is an amazing story of how, we don't know what these products are doing. Like you said, you didn't tell anybody about this because you wanted to give the product 90 days to work. And just think about all the other people that's benefiting as a result of this as well. Pastor Denise, any questions for Dr. Rosie before we let her go?
I heard some of Dr. Rosie's testimony when we were in where were we at? It's in
San Francisco.
We were in San Francisco, which is where we first met, and it was such a joy to meet her. She walked in the door, and her husband, she had this big, bright smile on her face. I mean, you think my smile was big. Her face just lit up the room. Her eyes were big. I was shocked when she told me how old she was. I was totally shocked. And it was just a pleasure to meet her because we had spoken on the phone so many times, and then we finally meet face-to-face. And again, it's another reason we say it's so important that you all attend these events because you meet these wonderful, awesome people like Dr. Rosie and her husband, Reggie. And you get to sit and talk with them and really get to know them to the next level. But listening to your story again, and you've added more than what you shared the first time, but I was just listening to your life, the way you were living prior to coming to taking the vitamin sprays. I mean, you said 18% of people with this condition commit suicide. And even you were at that point where you just wanted to commit suicide, not even wanting to get up in the morning because you were depressed. Your brain was affected by this condition, having pain in your body all over. And then the weight gain, and then the no sleep on top of that. My God. And then just living in a world of pain, and then not being able to share it with anyone, fear that they may think that you're complaining. Dr. Rose, I tell you, I'm just thinking, how in the world? It has to have been hard to live like that. But living like that, Dr. Rosie, and then going on the sprays, and then you have to let us know which ones you're taking and which ones, really made the difference. But going on the sprays and then being able to wake up for the first time in how many years? I don't know how many years you were like that, but waking up for the first time and you realizing that, hey, something's different. Pain is gone. I'm thinking, though, what is going on? Because share that, waking up that morning when you realize, oh, my God, something is working. And just the joy that you and your husband both felt at that awakening moment.
I think my husband feels like as much weight lifted off him as it has off me because he was the one that had to bring the water and the juices and the medicine to my bed every morning. And it was like clockwork. It became a part of his routine. After he brushed his teeth and did everything to get ready for work, then he would get my morning cocktails ready for me to take so I could be, the next hour or two I'd be able to get up. So when the first time when I was able to just get up in the morning without having to wait for this stuff to work, it was like I can't even explain it. There's no way I can explain it because I've spent so many years. I've suffered with this over 20 years. I didn't think I'd ever know what it felt like to feel normal again. I never thought I didn't know what it felt like to be without pain. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay because we are rejoicing with you. Now you got me crying. Now, Pastor, you got to come and sing both of us. Because, just hearing you say, and I understand what you say when you say you got your life back. Because that's how I felt when I realized I wasn't going to need a lung transplant.
See, the things you just can't understand until you've been there.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, you know when you have a situation in your life like you both have had, where those are literally life-threatening things, life-threatening, that you could literally die behind these things, and to just say you got one product in your hand. And with us, we have 5 now, but you get one product of spray in your hand because of the delivery system of 98% absorption. You guys' lives are beginning to be turned around. Pastor Denise, in just the first day or 2, you begin to see a difference in yours. Dr. Rosie, you begin to see the first week some changes. And now, here 90 days later, to see how many medications that you're no longer having to take because of what these vitamins. Let me tell you guys.
Yes, I do take them all.
I tell you, well, we could go on and on with this call for sure, but I know there's a lot of guests on the phone, like Missy. We have a guest, Missy's on the phone, and a number of other guests are on the phone, and what you're hearing is a true testimony, a live testimony of the story of somebody who's been benefited by a product. These are not paid advertisements. We don't pay them to tell their story. It's just people want to share their story because of what these products have done. They have changed their lives, and they have gotten their health back. And so even though we are a business and we're in the relationship marketing, and we're in this from a business standpoint to earn to change your life financially as well. The more people's lives that are changed physically and mentally as a result of these sprays, the more money you'll make, okay? We don't have to push money because we're pushing changing people's lives. Our number one product is changing people's lives. And you've seen our number one product today has changed the life of Dr. Rosie. Dr. Rosie, thank you so much for joining us on the Team Effort Lifestyle Call, and we look forward to having you again.
Thank you, thank
you. Dr. Rosie, one other thing before we go out to Anita Poole to get our quote for the day. I know that when Pastor Donna, I first spoke with you in regards to the sprays, and I know that you're using all the sprays. I'm pretty sure that you are. But I know that it was something about that cell energy that really caught your ear when we were talking about the sprays, and we mentioned the glutathione. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was the glutathione. When I signed up, I think I told. Well, because you're the one who told me about it. It was 10:30. It was after 10:30 at night on a Sunday night, and when they told me about the sprays, the first one I heard that perked my attention was the vitamin D, because the doctor had me on prescription strength vitamin D, and one of the things that I saw when they said I was deficient, it was very, very low. I think it was like a 15 or something. And one of the things I noticed in the vitamin D deficiency on the lab report was that the vitamin D deficiency caused, I had a medication for every symptom that they had on there. So I knew that the vitamin D was something that I really had to have. But then she talked about when she brought up the cell energy, it really perked my interest. She said that they were trying to get it formulated to where it wouldn't taste so bad and people would take it. And I remember telling her, I don't care how bad it tastes, I want it. Because the doctors had already said that was something that my body was very, very depleted of, and that it caused so much of the things that I was suffering, like the muscle pain and the muscle loss. I had atrophy. My muscle was beginning to, I had a lot of muscle loss, and therefore I started feeling like, I told people I shake like jelly, because jam don't shake like that. But and so that was the glutathione. But anyway, they had told me that I needed to take it because glutathione is not something that your body can digest through your digestive system very effectively. So they were wanted me to take it through intravenous injection, and I don't have any veins in order to do that. And when you stick one, I have one, and when you stick it too many times, it atrophies. It keloid, and I can't raise my arm, things like that. And so that glutathione, I was just dying to get that glutathione that I could spray in my mouth to have a good delivery system for absorption. Because also, as though I didn't mention, with the fibromyalgia, your digestive system is messed up. So even if you do take pills or whatever, even medication, the doctors had done a DNA test on me and found that even my medication, I would have to take 2 to 3 times as much as a normal person in order to get the same effect going through my digestive system. So I wasn't getting any kind of benefit from the vitamins that I was taking, although I was taking from 20 to 30 vitamins a day, in addition to my medication.
Wow.
So
I tell you,
I was just excited.
Yeah.
Your story is an amazing story. I tell you,